Indiana Disability History Project, Indiana Institute on Disability and Community, Indiana University. School experiences at Muscatatuck State Developmental Center.
We had a very good school system at that time, and earlier, and a lot of them, I think that would be the only chance for any education at all.
Back in those days, you didn't have to put people in school. The law had not been passed yet, and you didn't have to put them in school programs. So they would come from the community. They would be so totally out of hand. I had one that came into my class. She was quite a character, and they told me, they said, "We want you to housebreak her, and then she can go to school."
They weren't invited to the school. They were invited not to be in the schools. And so we had a principal, we had teachers, we had a school program. And I remember one family that I was closely involved with. The mother wanted the best for her daughter, and they moved to the county so that she could visit her, and she would take her school friends home, and they'd have parties at home and so forth. But she just wasn't in the community, so to speak. She needed to be away from the community, but she did get an education that way.
We also had people, actually clients that were helping other clients, get them up in the morning, get them dressed, see if they got their teeth brushed, get them off to school. I had children that I worked with, and we found that helping them to develop some musical skills actually gave them self-confidence and helped them in school and helped them in their work assignments. One of the therapists that worked for me had what she called Melody 10, and it was like a swing choir. They traveled all over the state and did performances. They actually made a record. We had folks here that couldn't tolerate being in classes longer than maybe an hour at a time because of their behaviors. We had some autistic individuals. Back in those days, we didn't understand that when you've got somebody with autism, you're not supposed to put them in a room with a bunch of other people that are loud and noisy. And when we tried to do that, well, naturally, we found out why you shouldn't. And instead of giving them their own private class, we just sent them back to the unit.
They misbehaved in school, then the school personnel would send them back to the living areas, and they would have to treat their behaviors on the living areas. And they were quite fond of punishment. They would put people in what we call quiet rooms now, and it was their room maybe 8 by 12 feet, something like this, and they would put them in these quiet rooms maybe for 30 days at a time or something like this. Spanking was permitted in the school, and then gradually the school population dwindled.
Now, it got to where they would send some people in town and have the others here. Once the idea of mainstreaming started, then they did send people in town. But not the majority of them. The huge majority of them went to school here. Of course, we had folks here that couldn't tolerate being in classes longer than maybe an hour at a time.
Music, Redwood Trail. Produced by Indiana Institute on Disability and Community, Center for Health Equity. Funded by the Indiana Governor's Council for People with Disabilities. Copyright 2020, the Trustees of Indiana University.